In keeping up with my own Joneses, I guess we need to put a clutch pack in this thing. So first things first, we gotta sort through this and get it into there. That's it. Easy enough, right? First thing we're doing, taking our 5mm Allen key, or hex wrench, and we're taking off our clutch cover, which has a gasket on it, and obviously running it a little bit hasn't leaked, so we may not have to use the new clutch gasket that we brought in, which is fine. We'll probably end up with another shadow in the future. So pull this off and get back with you. All right, clutch cover off, and as you remember, here's what we have. Bolts already in, and really, what is this? A little bit of moisture. I don't know. Kind of feels like oil. So when we ran it, oil should splash up around because this is a wet clutch. Now we need to put all of our clutch discs and, well, all these guys. We need to get them all in there. We need to pull this off, and this should just be basically setting these aside and putting them in the order that they're received. And then putting in what we need from the clutch pack that we ordered off of eBay. So this really shouldn't be that big a deal. We'll deal with the other side, the slave cylinder and the master cylinder, in the next video. So let's get to doing this. Okay, so we got a snap ring pliers here. I hopefully have the right ends on it. So I'm going to pull my snap ring out of this. I might need to focus on this. So I'll pull the snap ring out. As I said, yeah, okay, I'll be back. All right, well, I relocated just so I could see what I'm doing. And the snap ring came off. So I was able to get this free. So this is the pressure plate. And then here are my discs are free. So now we can go and transmit these over to the bike. So basically I'll pull these all off, set them this way, and then install them in the same direction and put them on the bike. All right, it looks like we have 5 discs and 6 of these guys. So I think all I need, I did dump these out of the basket, and I'm hoping that everything I'm doing here, yeah, okay. So you see here, we don't have this on there, but we do have this guy, which is back behind here. So all we really need to do is install 6 of these guys in order. These are our, let's see, discs and plates, right? So this has the friction disc, and then we stick the plate on next. So we just need to set 1 of each. So there's 1 of each. And now, next one. These all do look good. I could go ahead and measure them all, but I don't think that's a big deal. They look fine. And I'm assuming these work. So we're going to put them in. So this is the second one. Second disc here. And see, this disc, each one of these discs locks into the middle hub. So that's 2. And then each one of the friction discs locks into the outer hub. And that's how your clutch engages. So pretty easy and simple. So this is the third one. And we're counting these together. So there's 3. 3. I hope they're in there far enough. So that's 3. Now we need the 4th one. Come on. I guess I could do these together. These are kind of stuck together. Let's see if I can do them together. So this is, did I say 4? I don't know. I'm kind of keeping track, but not really. And our 4th one. Boy, I'm running out of space. Why am I running out of space? And then, well, at least we're on the last ones. I think that works pretty good. And it looks like I have 5 and 6, and that's what I want. So unfortunately, it looks like I'm running out of space. So for some reason, that's not gonna fit. So I will figure out why and what is going on, and I'll make these fit on there. Yeah. Okay. So let me look at this. Let me look at this. I'll get back to you. All right. Well, I figured something out. So this inner hub here, that's not actually this part. Yeah. It'll slide one way. So that's why it was off. And that's why my discs and friction discs and yeah, that's why the gears would not match up. I was able to just push it a little bit this way, and then it actually matched up. So, got all the plates and the discs in there. And now I guess we just need to figure out what goes on next. If we're looking at this, it looks like pressure plate. So all this is in there. And now this stuff, I guess, needs to go on top of it. So I got to figure out 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. And let's hope all that's sitting right there. Okay. I think I've figured this out. I kind of thought that whoever took this apart didn't bother to take anything out that didn't need out. But it looks like they did take this lock nut off, because it looks like our main part here needs to go, 12 needs to go behind these washers and the lock nut, which makes sense because that's all sitting in front of it on this thing. So we are gonna have to remove the lock nut and pull these parts out, and I guess we'll just replace them with the parts that are here, because that's all part of this system. Then that can go on and the lock nut can be reattached. And then that makes sense because our little, this guy, number 4, the clutch lifter, and that actually has, I think the clip is on it. The clip is actually on it there, right in this groove. So I think we have the circlip number 5 and the circlip number 5 and 4. So that's that stuff. So somehow, I guess I'll figure it out as it go, that fits in underneath this stuff and it's locked down. So that would then push the outer out. I wondered how this sat in there and did its job. So, gonna pull this off. It is a, well, 28 millimeter works for it. I already had it off once because I thought I had to take it off to move things around. There it is. Okay. So, I just pull that off and set it down. Like I said, I could use this one, but this one belongs here. So I'll just set this down straight and then pull off what needs done. And I guess all these things can just come off, and I'll replace them with this because these are not rusty. It did look a little dirty. I'll wipe them off before I put them in. So all this stuff can go on here as I take this off. All right, now we got the parts off. All the way down to this point right here, which I need to wipe out a little bit. And I wiped up my number 12, wiped up my pressure plate, number 12. So as far as I can tell, here's what's came in here, and over here looks about the same. So I think we're at the right spot. So now this guy should just sit right in on top of that. So now that we're in here, I can kind of tell what's going on and figure out how all this goes back in. So this will be first, and then I'll start laying down. Like I said, that's number 12. Then we have 11, 10, 9, and then a little collar, and then another little washer. And then the lock nut goes on. And then we just stick the spring setting plate in on top of that. Then the bearing, which is over here, that, and then the outer, let's see, pressure plate, the clutch lifter plate, and then the circlip. So this should be just reassembly. Like I said, I'm gonna wipe out this dirt, since of course this has sat outside and anything that was collected here is dirt. So gonna wipe that out. You can see all of our plates are sitting in here. Our friction discs and plates are all in place. I need to count them because the bike actually didn't come with all of them. I'm missing a few, so it's good I got the parts as a pack so I know what's going on. Okay, this pressure plate actually fits nicely in over all this stuff, and I can show you. I'll pull it off a second. There's actually teeth on here that actually line up with this guy. So basically, get it on there, line it up, and it drops down into place. So that's all looking pretty flush and clean. So we're good there. Next is to wipe off these parts as they go in. But like I said, next is the washers. What are they called? Flat washer thin, flat washer thick, and clutch spring dished. Okay. All right, doesn't that look beautiful? Everything back in place to this point. So now, let's see. So this is the rod that pushes from the slave cylinder on the other side. I've talked about that. I just pulled this out and started wiping it down. And I guess number one, water was getting in there and it's disgusting and rusty. So I got to clean this up. Number two, you also see terribly gross brake fluid, which would have been mixing with water, and that is definitely not a good thing. So yeah, anyway, this looks beautiful and this needs cleaned up. And obviously we have issues on the other side. So before we put all this back together, this needs cleaned up. Pretty simply. All right, wiped it down, got a little steel wool involved. It's a little bit stained, maybe etched a little bit, but that should do the trick. It's smooth. So that is our rod, which is actually listed here. Number 13, it is our clutch push rod. So knowing what we know now, water did definitely go down through there. So I think I'll end up taking the slave cylinder off the other side, and maybe we should run some WD-40 or something down through there just to clean that out. There is a seal on the other side, which I don't want to know how bad that is. That could easily be a problem that we are facing with the clutch. That none of this was a problem, but the clutch seal on the other side was leaking, so that could be a problem. But anyway, what if I put this down through again? Steel actually feels good. Steel feels rubbery. See that? Moisture and brake fluid. So something needs done. I don't like having all that moisture in there. I don't know. For now, let's get this finished up.